fertilizer content. Basically, this is developed for the both corporates and the individual farmers. So the main problem we have in agriculture is that we cannot identify the problem at the right time. So not identifying the problem at the right time creates a number of or the series of the multiple problems. So if you have a land of 10 acres, 50 acres or 200 acres, you cannot visit on regular basis into your field and see what's happening there. Is there any stress on the crop? So we have to come up with the solution that you can sense or monitor your data remotely. You are sitting at your office, at your home, and your crop is somewhere like hundreds of kilometers away from you. So you can monitor your fields very remotely and very precisely. Uh, we have integrated with the time of series that what are the basic needs of farmer and the what are the basic needs of the crop. So we can align these both things to make such smart and precise decisions that can save the fertilizer amount that is used on fields, and we can improve the health of the field and the yield of the field as well. So basically, this crop monitoring platform provides us unlimited data uh, that is very useful and very region specific data. Once you open this crop monitoring platform, you can see crop health indices and the other rest I have mentioned. In parallel with that, we have climate management where you can specifically from wherever you belong in all over the Pakistan, you can register with your KML file specifically of your crop, and you can have the data of weather. So basically, the weather is itself driving the crop, what the crop has to do, what the variations we can encounter in the crop. Likewise, many of the pests and diseases that only occur with the change of temperatures only. As the temperatures go very high in the cotton field, we can monitor that a number of pests and diseases can live in that crop. So if we have that type of data, we can make precise and smart decisions before any disease or pest can attack your crop. So with the this H5X, we have 14-day forecast data, we have rainfall data, and other variants of the weather. So that help us to make it more improve and better. This is the chart where we can see that what a farmer was doing before using the H5X platform. He was handling totally the traditional methods of irrigation, methods of fertilizer usage, whatever they have been doing from the decades. So once a farmer is registered with our services, now he has a lot of data in his hands, so he can make decisions and he can improvise his yield as well. In parallel, improvising the yield does not only support the farmer, it also needs that you have to fight with the resources you are using in your crop. So, with the help of irrigation, you can conserve your resources. With the help of fertilizer content, you can conserve the fertilizer resources. So, with these precise decisions, you can improve your field, you can improve your soil health, and apparently you can also improve soil health for so long period of the time that nowadays this is very happening in the Pakistan, that gradually we are degrading our soils, and that this degradation of the soil has become very common, and its basic use basic cause is the uncommon usage of the fertilizers. We are using fertilizers uh, which has no baselines, which has no concept why to use these fertilizers. So to make the proper use of these fertilizers, we need basic data for that. If we are talking about the individual farmers, this is helpful for the individual farmers, but managing a large corporations, This is very helpful for those corporations who manage a large number of farmers. Suppose a corporation handles hundreds and thousands of farmers. They have a dashboard which will Anshara show you in the later presentation. So you can monitor a lot of data of your farmers, which farmer is at which stage. So you have a complete overview, a bird's eye view over your farmers or over your corporation. So one more issue that we feel in large corporations and enterprises is that we do not have any idea that what supply we are going to get. I will give you an example of the sugarcane industry. So the sugarcane industry totally depends upon the farmers to whom they have provided or the farmers who have registered with that particular sugarcane industry. But the sugarcane industry is totally unaware, totally unknown that what amount of surplus they are going to get this year. So this is a big blank in the supply chain. You have no idea that what you are going to get this year. You have historical data, but you do not forecast that what amount of input, what amount of supply you are going to get. So with the help of this H5X platform, you have a list of all your customers, you have their crop health, we can forecast their yield. So with the help of all these sort of data, you can estimate your supply, what supply you are going to get at the end of the year, and you can make easily decisions. If anyone of you can want to have a detailed discussion on this, you can contact us. You can directly email or visit our website, or you can call on the given number. Thank you, Anshura.
Thank you. Thank you, Sami. Okay, so before jumping towards over to the platform, satellite monitoring, I would really like to educate you guys. I do want to educate you guys about satellite imagery basics. So first, let's understand a very simple but a concept. So how do satellites actually see the crops? So just a quick presentation before we move on to the satellite monitoring platform. I do want you guys to educate yourself a bit so that you can understand how satellite images or how the results are working. So just a quick intro about, wait, let me. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, you are visible.
Okay, thank you, Sami. So that's crop monitoring uses satellite imagery, understanding vegetation indices and time series analysis. Um, so what is why satellite based monitoring? Like why do we need it? So again, early detection, cost efficiency, and data driven decisions. Why do we need early detection? So basically, satellite imagery spot crop distress before like 17, 14 days before visible to naked eye. Like they can tell you how the crop, if the crop moisture is declined, or the crop health or nutrient deficiency is declined, you can literally monitor it through satellite imagery if the color is fade of the leaf, because you cannot visit the whole field at once. So these are some of the basic perks of using satellite monitoring. Again, you can monitor thousands of acres from your desk. Like this sentence I think used by Samit Bhai, like you can monitor it from anywhere, sitting anywhere, like something कहीं कहीं भी और कहीं से भी आप उसको monitor कर सकते हैं. Again, data driven decisions you can get from satellite based monitoring. After that, now how satellites see the crops. Satellite usually capture multiple wavelengths of light. We usually see like RGB images like nature color images, what our mobile camera is capturing. Now, what satellites see are the multispectral data, which include near infrared band, red edge band, shortwave infrared band. There are multiple bands in the satellite imageries. That's why we got some in-depth information from the crops. Now, what vegetation indices are we going to cover today? Are NDVI that tells us about. I don't know if you guys have a bit of background of satellite images and indices. This is NDVI. It's called as normalized different vegetation index that tells you about overall health and biomass of the field. Again, NDRE tells us about the nitrogen status of the field. NDMI tells us about the moisture content of the crop, and MSAVI is usually useful for early growth. And if the plant is literally very small, where you can soil can be reflected. So MSAVI is something that can be it's modified soil adjusted vegetation index that is useful for that stage. Talking about NDVI, how does it work in our platform? NDVI, of course, have some formula. It does have some maths behind it. There are some ranges. If the ranges from vary from -1 to +1. If your range is around zero point 0.2, that means it's a bare soil or dead vegetation. Again, if it increases, then zero point 0.9, of course, where there's I think dark green color represent excellent. If it exceeds from 0.75 or zero point 0.9, it means that there is a healthy vegetation there. But there are many flaws, not flaws, but there are many things that you can think about it. What makes, again, NDR is something nitrogen detective. It will detect the nitrogen content of your crop. So it is more sensitive to chlorophyll content than NDVI. NDVI is something that give us general health assessment, and NDRE is something you can use when you are planning some fertilizer application, or when you do want to know what's the chlorophyll or nitrogen status of your plants. It basically reflect the green color or nitrogen content of your crop. NDMI. We all live in Pakistan. We know how much irrigation is, how much water is needed for all of us, how much water shortage we are facing right now. So NDMI is something that I think NDMI is one of the most useful index where farmer can use it to manage their irrigation or manage like what area of the crop require most water as compared to other area of the crop. Like if there is a field and there are reading like zero point 0.4 or zero point 0.2, so the farmer know zero point 0.2, the area indicating zero point 0.2 reading has more water stress, so he plan accordingly. So NDMI is useful for that. It is again best uses cases are irrigation scheduling, drought monitoring, and you can compare it with weather data to validate it as well. Of course, everything has pros and cons. What are the cons of NDVI? NDVI is not good for when you are working with early stage crops. So that's why we propose the solution of MSAVI, modified soil adjusted vegetation index, that deflects soil brightness effects. So when your crop is very new, you can use MSAVI to monitor it, and when it's like 30 days or like 6 weeks old, you can switch to NDVI to better monitoring of the crop. Time series analysis. Time series analysis is something that's really useful. A single snapshot again tells you the current state. Time series tells you the whole story, like what duration your crop was feeling was like at its peak, and what was the duration when there's a decline in your crop health. Again, growth trajectory, steady upward curve from planting to peak. Like when was the peak was present in your crop. Seasonal pattern, you can monitor seasonal pattern, you can monitor recovery response, like after the rain, is the crop recovered or not. There is a use case as well. Let me tell you that again. Yes, there's real world problem. Weather data, crop monitoring platform AG5X do have weather data integration that tell you forecast and historical data of the crops as well. Let me talk about the scenarios here. The scenarios, if I can, yeah. Uh, एक सिनेरियो हम जस्ट assume it. NDVI drops, but there is no rain for 14 days. Then what you will think why the NDMI readings are drop or why the NDVI readings are drop? It could be likely due to water stress. Again, second scenario, NDVI drops, but there was heavy rainfall for past 2 days, and there was high humidity. Then it could be possible there must be a disease outbreak. After that, NDMI increases due to the recent rainfall. So it means that your crop is have a lot amount of water and there is no irrigation needed. So you can save water for future. Next slide. Of course, we are going to do that hands-on exercise when we are I'll introduce you to the AG5X platform. Best practices and pro tips. If you are using AG5X, like I will share the link on the group as well. You can draw your field and monitor your fields onto that as well. So there are weekly check. You have to check. It's better practice to weekly check your fields because you are doing it on your fingertips, not using it like directly visiting the field. And you can investigate anomalies, correlate weather. Like it's something you can test and trial, and you can play with the field, and you can play with NDVI indexes, like how they are working. Again, key takeaways: master the indices. You can you will now, I think you will understand what NDVI, NDRE, NDMI and MSAVI works. NDVI, basically for farmers, we do not name them like NDVI. We name them basic name that farmer can easily understand. You know about now how to monitor time series. You can again build a routine, and context of course matters. Next step is, let me share my screen with you all, and let's jump on to crop monitoring platform. We can have question and answer as well. First, let me introduce you to the crop monitoring platform. So, is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, you are visible.
Okay. So that's our login page. Let me sign in. Signing in through Google because I usually forget my password frequently. So signing in with Google will be more helpful. There's one thing that I'd really like to mention to you all, that AG5X was somehow the name of the training session, and now it's named Drop2X, so satellite monitoring system. So you might get confused, but since it's a soft launch for you all the 31 participants who are present here, we are working on some of its other features as well, like crop classification, yield prediction, and soil monitoring. So I'll introduce you after that, like what are those functions or what those steps do. So that's our satellite monitoring platform. I've logged in. There are some of my fields. I'll let you know how to draw a field and draw and work on it. But let's just explore a field that is already drawn there. It's a field of TPM. So we have to wait a bit. So okay. So here's our NDVI dataset. Is it visible to you all? You can see the colors here. So this is our legend. Crop health levels. Red color indicates poor reading, orange low, yellow moderate, green light green good, and dark green best. If I can, it's a really old historical data. So if I can jump on to 25th of March, what was the reading at that time? Okay, and I think let's go to the reading latest 6.5. Okay, so I think that's could be more acceptable reading, where basically we develop these legends on the basis of our reading. Like I told you before, green means best, the light means green means good. There are some readings here, so you can just we have to, I think, wait for a few seconds to have those readings here. So that's crop health. That's our fertilizer content, NDRE, moisture content, NDMI, germination and initial growth that I tell you, MSAVI, that eliminates soil reflectance, and natural image that will help you to know if the imagery have clouds or not. So this is our dashboard. Here you can click on see more to know about the weather. So what's current weather? It's available here. What are the forecast for 7 days? It's available here. And then historical data. What was the rain like? If I can over up to this date. Okay, so here precipitation is known as 7.10 on 23rd of January. So here you can also visualize this, precipitation or weather data as well. So let's just do one thing and directly monitor 23rd or 24th. Wait, let's just monitor 19th and 24th, that a day before rain and a day after rain. So on 19th of March, we have 19th of January. We have average of 0.45. Like NDVI was around 0.45 here. And after that, after few days on 24th, let's see what was the reading then. I think if you all can see, there were changes a bit because the rain has uh, increased the vegetation here, right? So if I don't know why the readings are not. I cannot view the readings here right now. Hi. So that's a crop health. You can use time series analysis graph. There is one thing as well. You can see a reading of 0.51 on 22nd August 2025. So let's go there to know about it. What was the reading on 22nd August? Okay. So if I go back to 27 August, the reading dropped. And why you can see a completely red image? Because it could be due to the cloudy weather. So satellite imagery have one con, which is cloud can be present at any time and you have to uh, deal with it. We are working on an AI notification system that tells you if the clouds are present there or there is some atmospheric interference on the imagery or not. So wait, let me we were on 19 January, right? Here and here. Okay. So if I can go to but the moisture content of the crop. We have to wait for a few seconds. I think there's some internet issue. Okay, so that's our moisture content. So if you can see on 19th of January, the reading will drop a bit. You can see on moisture content tab if it's visible. Sami, you can confirm me moisture content is visible is minus 0.01 and 0.48. Can you all see this?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. And after the rain, when we check onto the weather graph, after rain, let's check what was the moisture there. Now it's almost to the positive side. It's 0.02 and 0.61. So now a farmer can make a decision that if his crop needs water or not. So this is something meaningful to manage irrigation scheduling for the farmers. Beside that, there is again another index which is known as fertilizer content. I'm sorry, Samia, are you saying something?
Yes, I would add something here. Farmer can decide
Yes,
that
please.
whether we can irrigate or not. There's one
Yes.
thing more that he can decide which part of the field he can irrigate. So you can see
Hmm.
the whole picture of his crop. There is some patches which are very rich in the moisture, and there are
Yes,
few
exactly.
patches which are very less in the moisture content. So he
Hmm.
can focus on that particular area instead of applying fertilizers and using the irrigation on whole field. And
Exactly.
everybody who's associated with the agriculture know that underwatering and overwatering both damage the crop.
Exactly.
So if
Like
you have
like
to be precise, then you have to follow what moisture your field contain at the particular regions of that patches.
and I think you can cross check with the other indices as well. Like we I think you do remember that there were moisture index was high there, and then fertilizer content NDR is also high there. So I don't think a farmer need to focus on this area specifically. He can focus on this area because there
Exactly.
is a reading is 0.25 and the moisture content was not very high at that time on this field. So let us check the NDVI here as well. What are the readings of NDVI? We have to wait a bit. Um, okay, so crop health, I think reading is appeared. Okay. So again, this is 0.13 reading, which is dropped. I don't think there is some sort of vegetation here. Again, 0.59, which is a good read amount of reading, and then 0.44 or 0.45 or zero point 0.3. I think these are the areas where farmer really need to focus, and he can a bit ignore, not ignore, but pay more attention to these weak areas. Or also, I think by using time series graph, the farmer or the user should know about what are the weak areas of his crop, like throughout the whole crop cycle. If I am working on this reading, let's just pinpoint one location. I think this is the area which is weak throughout the crop cycle. So if we can go to 25 November, again, this is again a weakest area. 15-12, weak area. So farmer should know what area needs more attention and what area is good for growing crop. He might ignore it, or he might use more fertilizer or give more attention to the area that seems weak throughout the satellite imagery. So this is how different indices work with a crop monitoring platform. And now if we can go to nature color image again, guys. Okay, so now if nature color image is visible to you all, so this is how it shows a green field. That definitely shows that uh, there are clouds present into the imagery. So you we can, the farmer or we can take the decision that if the ND weight drops suddenly, we should know that there must be a cloud interference in the field. So there must be a notification pop-up that appears in our NDVI note as well, that there are cloud interference into the field. So the farmer or the decision maker should not take any sort of tension that if their field is healthy or not. Now, if we do have another feature, wait, let me just load this imagery. I think there is, I can show you a notification pop-up that usually appears. I don't know why it is not appearing here right now. It's for 5th March. So yes, here you can see a sudden drop in the crop health shows that there must be a cloud interference present in the image, and you can check it through the nature color composite natural image as well. So now the other feature we have is we can use opacity tab to check where are we are standing into the field right now. Of course, this is a 54 acres field, so you must know that what are the areas where we have to completely focus onto the field. So you can use opacity to know, okay, so if it's my area which is near to the road or near to the mosque or near to some house, so you can use opacity bar to check as well. Also, since this is how you can generate a report. If I can make next or I think there's some internet issue because I don't know why it's taking so much time to generate a single report. Let's just wait for it update.
Uh, we have two questions as well. Uh,
Yes, please.
Woman Saud is
Okay,
asking the
so
crop land.
okay,
Saud,
Okay, so just let's just go to. I think I should. We are taking a bit time here, so we have a little time left. Let me tell you how you can draw a field or how you can name it. So let's say we have this search feature. I think let me search Islamabad. So Islamabad, Pakistan is here. A user, I don't know if you do have a GIS background, you can upload your KML file or boundary file here, or you can also add your coordinates here as well. So it will pinpoint it to your location. I, there must be an internet issue because, guys. Yes, the platform is free for one field. After that, you have to take a membership plan to draw further fields or to draw other fields and utilize other features of the platform as well. So let me just quickly draw a field here. You have to click on the add field option. Select a polygon rectangle you want. I'm drawing a field here which is around like 1.74 hectares. I have to add the name of the field. It can be named as farm 12. Crop name wheat. Season, it could be summer. Sowing date, let's just set it to 1st March. And harvesting date could be like, let's just I have to show you one thing more, so I'm adjusting the harvesting date on 31st of March. So let's confirm it. So our field name is farm 12 is here. Now let's just analyze. We have to click on analyze button to analyze the field and wait for a bit to run analysis properly. Meanwhile, let's just answer a few questions.
Yes, I will answer. Uh, The first question we received
Okay.
from Wajid Iftikhar.
Um,
He's asking in case of
Sami, I'm
Silo.
so sorry. I am cutting you right now because the data is
Okay,
here
okay. You can
for
share. So go
satellite
ahead.
imagery. So I think there's internet issue because the base map is not appearing here right now. So these are our readings that shows crop health of your image of your field, and it shows the average values 0.11, 0.08, minus 0.02. Of course, we don't know what field this is. So this is our time series analysis graph that shows crop health, different moisture levels. You can check these as well. You can watch uh, its weather pattern here as well. And I think now, okay, so this is how you can analyze your field. Besides that, I'll briefly want to introduce to some of your features that are coming right now. That's soil health monitoring, where I think Sami has should have introduced you with the soil monitoring device, and I've introduced you as well. So there's one issue when we are working with soil monitoring, that you cannot know the pH and EC of the soil from each and every location. So you can use that soil monitoring device to take some points, some location of your point and collect the data of like NPK, EC, pH, moisture, and we will generate a predicted map of what are your field conditions. So soil and monitoring is one of our feature that we'll introduce. Again, yield monitoring, you can add your start month, end month of the crop you are working on. Right now we are only focusing on 2 to 3 crop, that wheat, that's wheat crop, and rice. We have to select our area, what our KML is, and then the model here, AI model will predict what is your yield, what will be your yield throughout the crop, throughout the month, or throughout your crop cycle. Again, we are that's something which is useful for industry type project. That's crop classification. Like if someone, like there's someone who owns a sugar mill and wants to know where are the sugar cane fields located in throughout Punjab or in throughout Rahim Yar Khan. So crop classification is a feature that we are going to introduce to monitor to know where the particular crop is being sown or being harvested or is ready in a particular location. So these are some of features. I'll share the meeting link with you guys. Meanwhile, I'll unmute you all and you all can ask some questions here. Okay, so accuracy of yield prediction, we are currently working on it, but we have worked on different uh, crops. So we are almost near to 70 to 80%, 75 to 80% accuracy we have achieved right now. But we are currently working on to make our model more better. So Sami, you can answer the question. I'll unmute everyone.
Thank you, Anshul. Mr. Wajid Iftikhar asked how to take decisions.
Okay, Sami, you are not audible. Can you please turn on your mic?
I am audible now.
Yes, yes.
So Wajid Iftikhar asked that how can we decide on the various crops? So basically, what we are saying here is only the soil moisture data, and you must be aware of your crop stage. Once you have the records of your crop stage, you can identify in which crop stage you are running right now and how much water is required to your field. What we do, we assign the experts of the particular crop to the farmer. Let's say a farmer is having a sugarcane crop, so an agronomist will be assigned to him who will look after his data. But if you do not want to have any agronomist, so you can download or you can directly search in which stage how much amount of water is required in that particular crop. So you are simply viewing the data of soil moisture and the other things. It's up to you how you tackle these types of data. Another question was from Mohammed Saud crop name. The field Anshra was showing, I think it was the field of TPL. They are growing seasonal crops, wheat, cotton, and this is same.
Yes.
Wajid
There were
Iftikhar
multiple crops
asked,
there.
exactly. Wajid Iftikhar asked a question again in case of smoke, where mixture of harmful gases and particulate matter observed, how satellite imagery and IoT will support the farming. Exactly, where we have a lot of smoke, we can have disturbance in the satellite imagery. One solution for that is you can install the IoT devices over there. With the help of IoT devices, you can monitor the data of soil moisture, soil temperature, ambient temperature, or environmental temperature, and the humidity. So that would be coming specifically from your field where the device is installed, so you can make decisions very easily. The device I showed at the start of the presentation, we have integrated that device with the water scheduling. So the device will be installed in your crop and it will detect the data of soil moisture on the best of your region, your crop stage, and it will identify in how many days you will be requiring the irrigation in your soil. So you can solve these problems with the help of IoT devices. Uh, Mahat Ahmed asks, we are interested in studying the tomato crops and collecting long-term data around 10 years for the research purposes. Could you please guide us on how tomato crops can be monitored effectively and what type of data should be collected? Also, if there are any tomato farming areas in near Karachi where we can collect that field data, also provide us on how to identify. You can identify that tomato fields. Yes, there are near fields in Karachi. You can visit Garo, you can visit Qatar, and there are the tomato fields. Uh, but it totally depends upon you that what sort of data you are looking for. If you are looking for soil related data like the nutrients, so you will have to lab testing for that sample. Or if you are having moisture data, you can contact us. We can provide you on a particular region that you will be needing a 10-year historical data of any sort of field. But there should be one thing kept in mind, that mostly tomato farming is done in the tunnel farming, and if it is done in the tunnel farming, you cannot have satellite data because it is covered with the polythene bags. But in case it is in the
I
open
think
fields, you can provide.
multi-spectral drones work there as well. So just quickly, the meeting will end in, sorry Sami for cutting you, in 2 minutes. So again, just quickly answering the question, you all can contact us on PropTech or Smart City Lab for different projects I've introduced, and Sami also have introduced you all with what we are working with right now. Also, there's someone who was asking about Pesatech as well. So I think I have mentioned we are working on weather related Pesatech, like how weather is related with Pesatech. Also, you all can, if you are if you can closely monitor NDVI or different indices, you do can detect Pesatech as well. We do have, I think, on mango orchard and on different crop, we do detect some Pesatech onto the field. That farmer was really shocked that how we are detecting those diseases. Or again, Sami, you can answer. I think we can end this meeting right now.
We can end this,
Um,
and audience have the
Thank you
number,
everyone for
so
joining. You
they
all
can
can take the screenshot and contact us anytime. It's better to mail if you do have any query, and if you do want to have a partner, if you want to collaborate with us. So we are available for you all. And soon, in near time, we are going to plan another webinar so we can discuss, and again another interactive session